going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Sheer Strikes podcast. My name is Eric Sheer, and the boys finished their California road trip. They played pretty well on this road trip. I'm not going to get into too much detail yet because obviously I want to talk about each game individually. So for this game, they started out in Los Angeles facing off against the Kings. And, the California road trip is one of the hardest trips across the NHL. And I expected this to be a pretty decent game, and it did not go our way, actually. Brandon Hagel, though, has been one of the most impressive players, I think, throughout this road trip. And he starts it off because he produces a rush chance with this play right here.
They lead the league in power play opportunities. Come the Lightning. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Hagel a shot. And Quick was able to knock it down.
Kings have three guys on the boards, but no total possession. You've got to read possession. The Kings not able to read possession. And look at this. Watch Sean the Quick. See now?
Speaking of Hagel, he creates another chance along the likes of Point and Kucherov, just purely based on their forechecking. No goal here, but still, creating chances is something that's very important for the Lightning, who have struggled pretty heavily early on this season with their offensive chances.
In the pregame show, guys getting used to different positions, being moved to the left side paired with Matt Roy, getting more and more reps. In tight, it's Braden.
However, at 7:20 into the first period, Philip Deneau gets his fourth of the year from Velarde and Anderson. This was kind of a scramble in front. No goal called immediately right on the ice, but after review, they called it a goal. So here's the goal right here.
Off a high cycle, Velarde curls to the high slot, plays it across, touch pass from Moore to Mikey Anderson, wrist shot, knocked down, Velarde, point blank, stoned by Vasilevsky, and then put in. But no signal by the referee. Velarde thinks he scored, but
it hits a couple people. One whack, two whacks. Is it free? Do we see it? Oh, there it is, the backhand. Yes, Philippe Deneau gets it. It was. And I would have to assume that since we didn't hear anything as far as a whistle, it's loose, right there. It goes in off the stick, and it's in the back of the net.
However, Brandon Hagel, again, that man is, I'm going to say it a lot this episode, he was fantastic. He scored his second goal of the year right here on this play from Sergachev and Kucherov at 15-14 of the first period. He gets rewarded on a nice, let's call it a rebound goal, if you will. Check this out.
Into the corner. Get it there. Played ahead. And Tampa Bay with a centering pass. They score. It's Brandon Hagel.
I think Quick gets to it first, but he doesn't handle it or clear it. Here's the attempted lob pass. Yeah. John the Quick pokes at it. And unfortunately for the Kings and Quick, he pokes it right back to an area where it goes off a pad. So it's a bounce at the same time.
This one might be one of my favorite plays of the entire road trip. Doesn't have to do anything with a goal. You'd think it would have to be maybe a save from Vasilevsky. No, it's actually a save from Cal Foote. He bails out Vasilevsky with his behind. Check this one out.
Wanted a penalty. Flying in. It's Lazat to the net. Loose puck. Fiala couldn't punch it home.
Nick Paul, he does it all. He is one of my favorite players on the team right now, actually, after we picked him up from Ottawa last deadline. But he steals the puck, draws a penalty against the Kings' best defenseman, Drew Doughty, on this breakaway chance. Check it out.
He protected the puck, had that opportunity.
Byfield wins the faceoff. Doughty fans on the shot. Here's Nick Paul chugging up ice. Paul lunging towards the puck. Spanorama denied.
The Lightning have not been great in the faceoff dot as of recent and as of the beginning of the season. They're never really known to be a great faceoff team. However, winning a draw is so important, and if you look at this play right here, it shows just why. We get a great scoring chance right off of a faceoff.
Like that, but still, just getting some rust out here early.
One-timer save, rebound, Quick on top of it.
Nick Perbix is a rookie this season alongside of Mikhail Sergachev in that pair, and I think he has been fantastic. On this play, you'll see him showing poise and confidence, which does lead to a scoring chance. No goal here, but again, scoring chances will add up, and likely Quick will break at some point.
A shot blocked by Lemieux. Perbix gets it back, dances to the front. This is on the back end. One stick handle too many. Perry sits up behind the net. Wraparound, save Quick, loose puck, jamming.
Unfortunately, Gabe Vilardi gets a tip-in goal from Doughty and Fiala at 5:03 in the second period on the power play. When I say tip-in, I mean it. There was absolutely no chance Vasilevsky could have had this. No reason to blame him. Please check this one out. This was a beautiful goal by Vilardi. Nothing to complain about here.
And then they get a pretty quick shot on net. Nothing here for Doughty other than crank it up. It goes off the boards. Watch, under the air. Vilardi low. Wow, to high.
And speaking of the stupid goals from the Kings, Blake Lizotte gets his first of the year from rookie Brant Clark and Arthur Kaliev at 13:17 of the second period. This was a very, very interesting play. We had a chance of our own, which leads to a poorly defended odd man rush, and obviously it results in a goal. But the pass from Brant Clark and just the awareness of him, I thought was absolutely fantastic on this play. Obviously not what we want, but that's just great for the game. A young defenseman with the poise and confidence and the skill to make a pass like this, just fantastic. So here's the goal. Obviously the Bolts are now down 3-1 after this.
Number 2, bang, save a goal, block a shot, create some transition. Now watch it open up. Look at 92. He's following it up. He's going to give everyone. You see that little drag, that long?
Shortly after the Blake Lizotte goal, Victor Hedman skates down and scores what we think would be a goal to cut the lead to 3-2. However, Corey Perry breaks his stick, and while going to retrieve a new one, he is offsides. The Kings challenge the call, and obviously the goal is reversed. And here's the play.
Shot, great defense, then the offensive guy making it happen.
Point navigates the traffic, hands it off to Perry, back to Point along the wall. Pass to the middle, Hedman turns, fires, scores!
Video coaches. No goal! Gonna stop there, guys. You see Perry drop the stick, then he goes, and he doesn't necessarily knows what's going on this side of the ice because he's focused into the bench, but he doesn't know where the puck is.
The Kings received an odd man rush situation. Vasilevsky has been phenomenal all season, really, and in this game especially, he was fantastic. And with this, he made a beautiful save, and the awareness to play out the puck when seeing that there's no LA Kings around, and it's just a Lightning who could result in an odd man rush situation for themselves. The awareness of Vasilevsky to play out the puck was just fantastic.
Drop pass for Perry to Kucherov. Across for Stamkos, it's picked off. Short-handed, it's Deneau and Byfield. Byfield with a step. Fan on the shot. Hedman defending. Loose puck, Deneau jamming. And Vasilevsky kept it out.
Speaking of Vazzy, on these next two clips, Andre Vasilevsky robs Anze Kopitar, as well as Adrian Kempe, who is the sniper of the LA Kings. So check these two out. Absolutely beautiful saves by number 88.
Corner by Hedman. Scooped up by Fiala, center, and Kopitar alone, dinking, shooting on the backhand, stopped by Vasilevsky. Jersey off the skate of Colton. He'll get it back. Dangerous pass off the stick of Perry. The Kings take it up ice. Fiala with a step to Kempe. Save Vasilevsky. And a bid from Kopitar that gets blocked to the corner.
However, Kempe does get his revenge on Vasilevsky. Quite a quick turnaround, actually, considering the save was made moments before. But Kempe comes down and rips one past Vasilevsky's short side. Again, maybe positioning could be better by Vazzy, but I really don't think so. Just a goal scorer's goal. That was just a fantastic shot. So check this one out.
Skill of the big goaltender, nimble to make the stop.
Kempe with a takeaway, neutral ice, moves in, scores!
I mentioned the importance of faceoffs earlier on in this episode, and it really stands true. A battle in the faceoff dot, really. The puck squirts out off of an LA Kings player right to Nikita Kucherov, who does shoot it. Quick gets a piece of it, but not all of it, as Kucherov gets his first of the season unassisted at 17:44 of the third period.
Tie up, And it comes to Kucherov, save quick, but it's off his glove and in.
Wow. Yeah, looked like just a bounce play.
Yeah.
However, it was too little too late for the Bolts as they would drop this one 4-2 to the LA Kings.
Dietz gains the line, loses the puck, and that will do it.
The Bolts do end up having to travel on a back-to-back situation to face off against the Anaheim Ducks on the 26th. Hagel gets things off to a pretty decent start with a pass over to Pointer. Just a great way to get things going after a pretty poor performance the night before.
Zone. He's just making himself open, trying to make sure he's ready for an offensive opportunity.
Here's Hagel slipped in for point with a shot, kicked out by Gibson and guided back into the
A name I haven't heard a lot this season, Cole Koepke, the rookie, has a pretty decent forecheck, which does lead to a scoring chance. No goal on the play again, but chances lead to things.
Higher NHL, and he was paired with Chernak, and they were terrific together. So now there's some changes, and looks like they're going to try a different pair with Hedman.
Fires the shot, the rebound, back in on goal from Ross Colton, and Gibson swallows up the rebound.
Very, very sloppy and just bad board play by Ian Cole leads to a grade A scoring chance for Anaheim. We are very lucky that Brian Elliott was on his game for this one.
Here's the first man in, that's Silverberg. Second man in is Henrik, and look who's lurking around in the weeds right there. That's Derek Grant with a good opportunity.
I don't want to blame anything on the refs, but they do miss a call. Should have been a trip against Killorn at the blue line, but it still does lead to a scoring chance for Ian Cole because of just pure will and dominance that we need to win this game.
Here's Killorn, tripped up. Play continues. There's a chance for Stamkos for Ian Cole with a shot, gloved and held by Gibson.
After the Lightning have had a pretty good start to the first period of this game, Hedman just very indecisive with the puck behind the net and leads to a turnover, which leads to the first goal of the game and Trevor Zegras' fourth of the season from Kulikov and Terry at 14:25 in the first period.
Drysdale moves it down low, so Terry couldn't lift the stick of Hedman. Took too long with it. Terry finds it from him, makes a pass, tapped in front. It goes all the way through out to the point. Snapped over Zegras, he scores! Oh, some great passing, and Zegras with the bullet.
Again, I mentioned his name earlier, Nick Perbix. He has been absolutely fantastic, in my opinion, in his few games with the Bolts. And again, Mikhail Sergachev, his partner, has also been pretty great the past couple games. Sergachev gets rewarded from Paul and Perbix at 17:18 of the first period. This would actually end up being Nick Perbix's first career NHL point, so congratulations, Nick.
Sergachev hangs onto it, plays behind the net. Extended for Perbix. Right side, Paul. It continues, they shoot, they score! Sergachev slipped it by everybody, including Gibson, and not
Perbix, such great poise and patience for a young kid. And speaking of that, Victor Hedman with immense poise and just patience to get the puck through the slot for Nikita Kucherov to bury a one-timer. Again, assists come from Myers and Hedman at 18:44 of this first period.
holding that puck along the boards. Tapped out high, Myers got caught in between, still stepped up to make the play. Hedman across open net, and they score! Hedman to Kucherov, and two quick ones for the Lightning.
Here it looked like this puck was lost, but it kept in. Hedman just zips it across. A beautiful heel-to-toe saucer pass from basically top of the circles here to the dot, and it's right on the mark.
It's a nice shot. You know,
Bolts head into the second period up 2-1. Nemestikov turns the puck over, giving it to Maroon, who dekes over to his backhand. Pat Maroon not known for his hands, however, he does beat everyone but the crossbar.
By the Lightning in the first. Zegras fumbled the puck and lost it. Then Nemestikov from Maroon, and he hit the pole! After that one, the turnover from Zegras, the pass to Nemestikov. Maroon off the bar, and it stayed out.
16:39. Philip Myers, fan pass, gets the puck stolen by Troy Terry to get his fourth goal of the year unassisted. Ties the game at 2 apiece, and this is just unacceptable from Myers. I get he hasn't played a lot, he's fairly young, but this is pretty inexcusable.
Elliott, a nice job to stop it from completing his travel around the net. That one fanned on by Myers. Troy Terry stole it away. Troy Terry still with it, and he scores! That one was
Mental effort. Myers can't handle it. Is on the backhand. Good strong stick there by Terry, and then he pulls the puck back. Doesn't.
It's not too often you see a backup goalie in a Save of the Year candidate, but this save right here, old school save actually, from Brian Elliott, stacking the pads, just a thing of beauty.
puck across, and now it's McTavish. The drop pass. Here is Troy Terry. Terry from the dot. Back over for Zegras. What a stop by Brian Elliott. How about Brian Elliott getting across his crease? Oh.
You're going to hear me say his name once again. Brandon Hagel, third of the year from Sergachev and Colton on the power play at 15:33 to give the Bullets a 3-2 lead late in the third period.
From the hash marks. Pressure came and then left from Fowler. Sergachev, 26 on the power play clock. Hagel shot, scores! Brandon Hagel, it's a power play goal.
Nick Paul does it all, and he even puts pucks in the empty net from Victor Hedman at 19:58 of the third period. Gives the Bullets a 4-2 lead.
One last rush for the Ducks. Terry, poke check by Hedman at the line. Hedman will hang on the delayed offside. Now advance it with 5. Paul towards the empty net, and he puts it.
And obviously that would do it for the game. The Bullets win it 4-2.
The story for Tampa Bay, too, their top guys have continued to play well.
Paul and
Little skirmish at the end of this game, right off the faceoff. Zegras and Paul. Words were being had as well between Stroman.
The Bullets get a couple days off and much needed rest. They played on October 29th against the San Jose Sharks, and they came out hot. Victor Hedman with his first of the season from Braden Point just 32 seconds into the first period.
Note today for the Sharks, Nick Bonino returns to the lineup, and that means that Jonah Gadjevich will not be in the lineup as Hedman scores on the first shot for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
But then they get a little bit too deep with Barabanov, and with that happens, it's a 4-on-2, and you can see Barabanov trying to get back, but Braden Point finds that little hole between Vlasic's stick and skate.
It truly was a battle between the big Swedes on each team. Erik Karlsson gets his 5th of the season from Hurdle at 1:22 in the first period, evening things up before the fans even got into their seats.
Not from the point, and hopefully that's the first of many more to come for last year's leading scorer. Karlsson scores!
Bench, seeing his buddy there, Hedman, got the scoring started, and now Karlsson responds. Good forecheck by the Sharks, and that turnover there, Karlsson on his toes underneath that blocker of Vasilevsky. This is just a beautifully placed shot by Karlsson, who continues.
Nikita Kucherov with a stunning pass over to Brandon Hagel. I said him again for another great chance.
Over the last 6 years, only Connor McDavid has scored more goals per game.
Ross the Boss, haven't heard his name a lot, gets his second of the year from Killorn and Hagel at 13:44 of the first period. This was fantastic vision by Hagel to get the puck over to Killorn, who does shoot it. Rossi gets a rebound goal, but you know, a goal's a goal, and he needs the confidence.
He'll adjust, give it back for Hagel. Killorn, a shot, and that one's saved by Reimer. Foot back for Hagel. Inside to Killorn again, off the goalpost. Rebound, they score!
The official gives him a word after this goal goes in the back of the net. And this is going to be even strength. He had just popped out, but this is going to go off the goalpost. And you can see right there, before Reimer can raise up, and goes right on Ross Colton's stick as he's just going to capture it. He knows he's got a little bit of time, and then finds the net.
This might have been one of the roughest road trips for Erik Cernak, I think, in his entire Lightning career. Just a mindless pass by Cernak up to Vlasic on the other team. Gives it to Kunin. Nico Sturm gets his 5th of the year at 5:36 of the second period. Ties the game at 2 apiece.
One of the things I saw from Hurdle in that first period of his engagement in the offensive zone when a defender comes to check him hitting that defender first gives him some time.
Sturm scores!
Again, Cunnin all around it, drop pass, kind of crosses in front of Vasilevsky, taking out Hedman, gives him a little bit of angle there to shoot, and goes top corner.
What an individual effort we get here from Nikita Kucherov. Nearly a wraparound goal, or even a one-timer from Erik Cernak. but Reimer stands tall in the Sharks' net.
Nikita Kucherov scooting through the neutral zone. Now he challenges Carlson, goes around him, wraps it around, and he's still got the puck. Back in front,
Nick Paul does it all, and he just got out of the bank. Gives a nice bank pass over to Killorn, who has time and space to rip one past Reimer from Paul and Chernak at 18:41 of the second period, giving the Bullets a 3-2 lead.
Fans wanted a penalty.
Well, the bench did too. They all yelled here, stood up. Now it's going to create a chance.
Here's a 2-on-1 down low. Killorn scores! Alex Killorn and the Lightning.
And now he gets the puck here and finds a hole on James Reimer. And you can see Erik Karlsson's frustration on the non-call in the neutral zone, taking down.
I talked about the importance of face-offs, and a lost face-off in the defensive zone by the Lightning lets Karlsson walk right in for number 2 on the evening from Meyer and Hertl at 4:34 of the third period on the power play.
And they've got it off the draw. Karlsson loads up and scores! Another big goal for Erik Karlsson.
The Sharks here and just walk right down Main Street looking for that traffic. What a job by...
I'll let the video do this one. I'll let the video speak for itself, but point to Hagel to Kucherov, game-winning goal.
With a minute to go, Point over the wing, gives it, nope, hangs on, now gives it, in front, Kucherov scores! You could feel it, and Nikita Kucherov's play.
It's like he just bites down, Point cuts back, and that sauce pass there sets up the play. Kucherov just hits the brakes. It's it up by this cutback, and then the sauce pass over Ferraro, in through the seam. Sorry, that was, oh, what a pass.
Brandon Hagel, absolutely phenomenal play. Kucherov, third of the year from Hagel and Point. The Bolts win it 4-3.
Here's Meyer, and it just kicked off a leg away. Karlsson's got to shoot it. Plays it off the boards. Meyer shoots. And Vasilevsky stops it as the game ends. And the Tampa Bay Lightning.
The Bolts are going to get a little bit of a homestand here. It has been a while since they've played a couple games at home. And on Tuesday, November 1st, they're going to play against the Ottawa Senators. Thursday, the 3rd, they're going to play against the Carolina Hurricanes. And on Saturday, the 5th, they're going to play against the Buffalo Sabres. That's all the games for this upcoming week. But I'm very excited to see how they do. They're finally getting back in the right direction. You know, the Bolts have not been as crisp as they obviously would like to be, but they're still 5-4. They're above 500. They're 10 points on the year. Obviously, right now, as I'm recording this podcast, they are not in a playoff position. Doesn't mean that they won't be by the time that this comes out, but they aren't as of right now. And I'm very excited to see how the rest of the season goes. I do think that the players are starting to mesh together, and I think that Brandon Hagel has really started to come into his own, and I think that's very needed. We gave up a lot for Hagel, and I think that if he didn't come into play, obviously he's on a great contract for us, but if he didn't really prove himself in the next probably month or so, I would be really worried about the direction of the team, and not necessarily worried about the direction of the team. Let me rephrase that. Just the direction of how our lines would be reshaped. Because if Hagel doesn't come into fruition and he's playing on the first line with Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov, something's got to change, and I just don't know where those players are going to slot in. And obviously, this is all without Cirelli and Bogosian, who are still out injured with shoulder injuries. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a different episode, but it's going to be more of a consistent theme, I guess. I'm going to be having some video clips alongside of just my regular talking. So, with that being said, I'm so excited for hockey to be back. And we're already 9 games into the season for the Lightning, and I am just pumped about it. So, I bid you adieu, and let's go Bolts.